afternoon talking to Dr. Robinson. He's our superintendent of the Cameron School District. And as you know, I just love to shine positive news and all good things that are happening in our community and just share it with you, so that whether you learn something you didn't know or just enjoy learning good news or seeing good news, then that's what I'm here to do. And today, Dr. Robinson, you have so much good news to share with us, and I mean, this is impressive what you have going on. So, Cassie, span around, what are we looking at?
The first part here is the theater area, the new Fine Arts Performing Arts Center, and it's state of the art, absolutely the best we can get. And then the other part with the wood here is kind of starting to get blocked in. That's actually our new high school office space. Both these are going to be absolutely amazing. First of all, we've never had a theater quite like this.
Right.
We have a theater. It's adequate at best. This theater, obviously the tall section there, the wall section, that's actually where the stage is located at.
Okay.
That's what they call a fly loft. So instead of things going sideways, everything goes up. It's hitting up in the ceiling, so you can bring things up and down a lot quicker. You have the ability to put more stuff on there than if you're going sideways. It just saves on space, and it's truthfully what every theater, if you were going to the Coffee Center, they would have a fly loft type theater. Obviously you can see what we're calling the lower roof, even though it looks pretty high up there. And they're putting the decking on and those different pieces. And it looks like actually the piece hanging from the, probably not the frame, but from the bucket there, it's actually probably one of the skywalks. So when they set the lights and do those different pieces, that's one of those things that's going in right now. So we're excited about it. It's almost 650 seats, which is over 220 plus bigger than what we currently have. So we should be able to have a lot bigger program. This lower space down here, we see the lower roof. That's actually where our dressing rooms, our green room. Our kids don't know what a green room is because they've never had a green room. We have, 2 sets of dressing rooms. We have a bathroom off the stage. We actually have a laundry room.
Wow.
We have a couple different things on there that we've never had before. So we're excited that our kids get that opportunity. Plus, this was designed, while the architects do it, they kind of put it out. This is designed by a company that only designs theaters. So Peerbolt Theater, they actually designed it so the acoustics, the sound, all of it, it's going to be top notch. I mean, that's going to be amazing for our kids. We already host some festivals. We end up hosting them in the gym. Now we're going to host a music festival, a band festival, maybe even host some of the Missouri State High School Civic Association. They have music festivals, music contests in the spring. We're hoping that we'll be able to get some of those. Maybe we'll bring in things like that throughout the year. Now that we've got a theater that's worthy of bringing other people in. So the possibilities are really endless for this, and our kids are going to be exposed to this all the time. Obviously it's sitting at the high school, so the proximity being to intermediate school, Parkview, the middle school assemblies, school, programs, whatever it might be. We could have those, all of them be in this building, if we wanted to. I just think the possibilities are endless for what we're going to be able to do with that.
And it's quite a sight. I mean,
It is.
The tallest, or almost to
probably,
the tallest building here in Cameron?
I would say so. We're excited about it. The south end will have a giant C. We got to represent Cameron.
Absolutely.
And so we'll have a huge, stainless steel giant C backlit. Bring a little source of pride when somebody shows up for a ball game or wrestling match or volleyball or whatever it is, and know exactly where they're at. We're excited about that. Obviously, we're moving the high school offices downstairs, as you can see here. We think that makes more sense as the building kind of transitions this way a little bit. Plus that puts them closer to where a lot of our kids are already driving, parking lot, those areas where if we do have a problem, it's most likely going to be here. And so we'll have the principals there. What that does also is frees up our high school office upstairs for us to take our counselors out of those rooms, put those in those bigger office spaces. Their office spaces are small to say the least, some of their size. And so they'll actually be more small group. When we have recruiters come in, that's going to be that much easier. They'll have their own office space to be able to do that. We are pretty limited on what we have to be able to do now. So it's really a win for everybody in all these projects. Like I said, as we get through this, you're going to find out that we're touching a lot of kids. And there's going to be a lot of kids getting affected by this. And that's the best part about this. So.
And you have 2 guidance counselors, right?
We do have 2 guidance counselors.
So they'll just be able to serve so much more.
Oh yeah, just have space if they want to do small groups or have parents come in and talk to kids or whatever you need to do, right? Right now, it's just pretty much a chair and a desk. That's all they have room for. So there's not a lot of room to do those extra activities. Or if a recruiter from college or military, whoever comes in, there's really no place to put those people, and now they'll have that space.
That's wonderful. Well, you've got a lot more going on inside, but I actually put out a question on Facebook asking if anybody had any questions that they wanted me to ask you. So before I forget, and before we move on, I did have one person ask me, do you have any, or is there any steps being taken to offer early childhood 0 through 3, so preschool care for district staff? So our teachers.
Well, we are looking at that. Yes, we've started exploring it. The state of Missouri, what it would take for licensing, what we would need, type of certificates. If they have to have certificates, what they would need to be able to do that. We have some space in central office that we obviously used for a while, as you know, with your children, for where we had a preschool at. So at that one time, that was licensed to the state. So we feel like we have the space available if we needed to. Originally, we started the preschool for our staff to be able to get them to be able to come back to teaching and feel more comfortable and not feel like they had to stay home for 4 or 5 years. If they could, put their kid in, stay home for a little bit, and then come back to school. And with the teacher shortage, we want our teachers coming back. And so we feel like it could be a need, and we feel like it's probably a need for the community. It would probably start off for employees and their children, grandchildren type thing. But we, if we get to that point and we feel like there's that big a need, then we'll try to expand it. We went from 1 preschool to 3 in Parkview now, and so that's a program we've continued to grow, and that's really not one that we get a lot of reimbursement, but as far as funding, but we feel like it makes up for itself having those kids even better and more prepared for kindergarten. That actually pays for itself in the long run, and so we feel like this is a great deal and actually good for the community. So
always trying to find ways to better assist your teachers, your staff,
and it's truly a community. I mean, we're here to serve the community.
Wonderful. Well, we've got a lot to go see inside, so where are we going to first?
We'll probably head in and look at the mezzanine.
Wonderful. Let's go.
Looks like they're getting ready to put up the catwalk.
So now we're in a space that I've never been before, and I mean, I know, obviously the gym is right here, so this used to be the stage. Where are we now?
Well, effectively we're calling it the mezzanine area, and you're right, this was the whole stage area. Below us would have been the stage, about 14 feet below us was the stage area, and we weren't using the space very well at all. In fact, it was kind of more of a hindrance than it was helping us at all. And so when we decided with this project that we would, if we had the money and it was with the addendums, and we did, so we were able to add on to this extra piece, and we were able to do this extra space. And it actually, because of that, we were able to free up 4 classrooms, because what we took was, we took our wrestling room space, we turned it into 3 classrooms. The weight room is still currently operating as a weight room, but when the downstairs finishes, which we'll run down there in a second, that space will then move over to here, and it'll be just below us, and so that one will become a classroom. So then we're actually able to have all of our language arts classrooms together. So we have all 4 teachers by each other. But yeah, this space we think is going to be much more usable, much more friendly to us. Obviously we'll have the weight room below for us. We think it's going to be a nice space. It's about 900 square foot bigger than our current weight room space is, and we get a lot of kids in there, about 35 kids an hour. So it gets pretty crowded in our current space. But this space up here, we've talked about for games, we've talked about for wrestling practice, for baseball, softball practice. You could do a lot of stuff with nets and different things. We've talked about putting some gym equipment up here. So we're not exactly sure how we're going to use the space, but we know that we've got it.
And it's very usable.
It's very usable, yeah, exactly. I mean, even classes can come for projects, spread out around the room and be able to do things that they can't do other places. And so, especially if it's, during lunch, we got lunchroom, that's our other big space, they could come in here. It wouldn't take anything to bring tables, chairs, you name it, and we've got all this space. So.
And what a great viewpoint.
Oh, it is. Isn't it incredible?
Of your Dragons playing volleyball or basketball,
or wrestling, you name
Absolutely.
it. I mean, it's going to be a really nice space. And again, we were very, very happy that we were able to get this space added in. And like I said, it becomes so much more usable than the stage that we didn't use at all. And now we've got 3,600 square feet of usable space on both ends. So
Because always before, the stage was used for like music, like band performances, but now you've got that performing arts.
Exactly, and we still can do all that. You know, we've already talked to the pep band. We have no doubt that during the wrestling season, the basketball season, the pep band is still going to be able to come up here and play.
Absolutely.
And you're still tall enough. You're still going to be able to hear the music, do all that. They're still going to be a part of it. It's still going to be a neat atmosphere.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, let's go down and see
let's do it.
weight room.
Yeah.
So now we're in the soon-to-be weight room.
Yes, it is.
When do you think this will be completed?
Probably in the next week and a half. So, yeah. We're currently just waiting on a little bit of HVAC system to turn on. They have to, even though the rubber's kind of laid out right now, we have to wait like 72 hours once we get the actual air conditioning here turned on. And then we'll put the floor down, and we have another 72 hours to get it all set up. And then we'll start moving the weight room over. But again, this was at one time the old stage area. We're probably actually about 3 or 4 feet below what the stage height was. But because of it, we've always had, as you can see, a ton of extra space. We'll add more equipment with our classes continuing to grow and the weightlifting and having one every hour. We needed the extra space, but not quite done here. Obviously, the flooring and stuff not quite done. The TV's not up, and obviously the equipment's not in here yet. But another 2 weeks, this room will look completely different.
So you said TVs,
There's
are there going to be mirrors?
We will eventually have some mirrors and different things in here too. So
Wonderful.
yeah.
Well, this will be a great area for all of our students and athletes, and
Oh yeah, exactly.
continue to build on the great Cameron sports.
I appreciate it.
Here. So,
Good.
where are we going to go next?
I think we'll actually kind of just show kind of a peek of the classrooms that we took when we took the weight room and the wrestling room that we ended up putting in classroom space.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay, Dr. Robinson, now we're in an area that's obviously under a lot of construction, and I don't recognize it at all. So, what did this used to be, and what are you transforming it into?
Well, this was our science classrooms, and this was the senior hallway that went down here. Obviously, this is a pretty big area of construction. One of our things with the project was to redo all of our science classrooms. We're trying to bring those up to not only 21st century, but 22nd century, and have these classrooms ready. We want our kids to be, when they leave high school, we want them to be ready for college, whatever they might do, and we think this is the best way to do it. So we effectively took down the 3 classrooms that were all the way across here. We've built 2 very large classrooms with a whole closet storage area in the middle so they can keep all their tools, equipment, chemicals, all those different pieces. And then what we love about it is each classroom is set up like a classroom and then lab space. So there's really no reason not to be able to have classrooms and labs and be able to do stuff the same day, or have your class spread out, having you work on 2 different things. We're excited about that. Our teachers are excited about that. Just being able to have state-of-the-art classrooms with sinks, gas, all those different pieces, and especially with the Project Lead the Way classes and those different pieces that we're already putting kids out that we feel are already ready for nursing when they kind of leave our classroom. So we're excited about it. We love the opportunity to be able to do this.
And when do you think that this will be completed?
We're hopeful that this could be done before the end of school. We think the hallway we'll have back obviously in a couple months, but we think these classrooms will be fairly set up by, we hope, March, so that we'll be able to kind of get into those and kind of start getting acclimated and find out what we need to work on, what we don't need to work on, and those different pieces. But like I said, we're super excited. This is going to give our kids, the edge up, and that's kind of what it's all about, making sure our kids are ready to go and our kids are prepared.
Absolutely. 3 years until an early steps into these high school hallways, and so
it goes fast.
They will both really enjoy these science rooms. So I'm looking forward to them. Great. Where are we going to go next?
We're going to head over where the vocational center is going to be built.
So we're finding ourselves outside again, but this is just on the other side of the hallway of where we were, and there's another science class that's being built out here, is what you said.
Yes, there is. Yep.
And then tell me what is going on with the rest of this space. I mean, this used to be, what did this used to be?
Well, this used to be the north hallway, pretty much language arts, special ed rooms. We had our family consumer science. That's what this hallway used to be, was this whole north end. And as you said, we are expanding the science classrooms. it'll come up that way, and then this whole west side is going to be, there'll be two agricultural classrooms, and then we actually are putting in a third kind of a lab type situation that we can use for different, but we anticipate the ag folks will be using it quite a bit. And then we also have kind of up here in this northeast corner will be the shop area. So we'll still have that for all of our ag construction, where we do our welding, things like that. And then we actually transition back to the building over here. And then this will be where our new family consumer science is. So we're really calling this the vocational center because all those kind of go under vocational with ag and science or family consumer science. So this whole area will be that, and then we'll actually be a garage door that will kind of open that way, so when they bring in their metal or they're working on projects or whatever, it'll actually open up towards Chestnut. So,
wow.
We're getting close, as you can see, with the plumbing and different pieces in here, and the gravel starting to get laid, that we're probably less than a week away from actually having concrete floors put in. And then once concrete floors, we can start putting up our beams, our ceilings, and we have walls. So we're moving along on this. Again, this is probably something that will not be done, interior and all that, until probably May, early June of 22. So.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, I obviously go down Park Avenue quite a bit. So I see the Performing Arts Center or building all the time. I actually had no idea how expansive this reconstruction and this transformation
it's very
is.
extensive. Yeah, this is $13 million. Again, we thank the voters for that because they gave us this approval. And I think we came with them with a good idea, and that's why they liked it. But we're going to be able to change a lot of different things as we show in your videos. We're not just doing one project.
Right.
We're meeting a lot of the needs for all of our kids.
I mean, so you're improving the students' education or academics in performing arts or band, choir, science, language arts, ag, you know, all
family
the consumer sciences.
Yeah.
I mean, you're touching on so many of the different academic areas.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That this is great. This is exactly what I wanted to do, just to have you just show us what everything is going on and how wonderful this is going to be for all of our kids.
Oh, every kid's going to be able to take advantage of this. There's not going to be a kid that's not going to be, by next year or even the end of the year, that's not going to be in one of these classes or having touched some part of this. So, like I said, this is something that met the needs of everything, and that doesn't usually happen.
Right. Well, this is great. There is a few questions that I do want to ask you. 4 weeks in, and all of your buildings are still in green.
We are still in green. We kind of got a little close at high school, and we figured that would probably be the first building we would see a problem in, just because there's no way to cohort kids in that building, and every class can have a different set of kids in it, different kids sitting beside each other. We did get a little high there for a while, but we're back down, and we're actually very comfortable now. We feel like we've had another good week.
Right.
We do know it's still around. We think we're still trying to take mitigation strategies and do what we can to help to prevent and slow it down. But we've had a few positive cases, and what mainly gets us is the quarantines. When we get to close contacts, and that means these kids are sitting by this kid, and all of a sudden, we don't like making those phone calls as much as parents like hearing about it either. But we're required to do that. But we feel like we've managed the situation pretty well. It doesn't mean that at some point in time we're not going to be in mask. In fact, I would have swore a couple weeks ago we were probably headed that direction, and came within about a percentage point of starting to wear a mask at the high school. But we're well below 5% in every one of our buildings now, and we're really happy about that. We want to thank our parents and kids, because if your kids are sick, take them to the doctor. Get them checked out. Don't send them to school and affect a bunch of other kids. And we just appreciate our parents and students for taking it seriously, and we think we've done a good job. And not guaranteeing we won't be in mask at some point in time, but I think we've had 4 great weeks so far, and let's continue. I mean, that'd be awesome. So.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think I looked at the graph, and it was high school was in like 3.7, something like that.
I think the other buildings at the time we've been updated every Friday. We keep watch of it every day. We have our assistant principals who do that every day. So myself and Dr. Mefford are watching that daily. We see it. We put the county numbers in every day, and even as the county numbers have went up, our school numbers have went down. So that's awesome, and I think it goes to our plan. We changed kind of going from the county number to more of a building set building number, and so far it's working. It's only 4 weeks. It's a long year, but for 4 weeks it's worked.
Right.
So.
Absolutely. So thank you to the administration. Thank you to all of your amazing teachers, and like you said, the parents.
Well,
and
that's
the students.
truly, we got to thank the community for all of this. They're the ones that give us the right skill to do this, and then thanks to our staff. As you can tell, this is disruptive. It's disruptive for kids. It's disruptive for teachers. We've had to move teachers around to different classrooms, and I have not heard a complaint yet. I mean, I think they see the end result, but at the same time, they have been great to work with. I think our kids actually enjoy a little bit having to get to go and spend a little classroom time outside, and get a little sunlight and sun and all that. But we'll, as soon as we can, we'll be back in the hallways and such. But I can't thank our community enough, because they've been awesome to work with on this whole thing. So.
Sounds great. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video where I was able to just shine a positive light on all of the great things that are going on here in the Cameron School District. So, as always, I just encourage you to keep shining and go out and share your light. Thanks.